So beautiful people, prior to me making this video, I've literally watched every single Ciryl Gane fight available on UFC Fight Pass. And let me tell you this, I think I have an idea what will be the man's game plan heading into Saturday night to possibly dethrone the current heavyweight champion of the world, the best heavyweight on the planet, Tom Aspinall. You know, out of all the events that I've been to, this event, UFC 321, which I will be attending Saturday night, out of all the events that I have attended, I cannot wait for this one. I've never been more excited in my life for a main event more than this one. And let me tell you, Ciryl Gane's game plan, I think I have an idea what the man will do. I'm going to break him down from head to toe. You know, one thing that he does exceptionally well, let's start with his feet. Number one, Tom Aspinall has never fought someone with such elusive footwork like Ciryl Gane. And not just that, you know, you can't talk about Ciryl Gane's footwork without talking about the man's ability to switch hit. He is the definition of a switch hitter. The man can fight in the orthodox stance, he can fight in the southpaw stance, and not just that, he actually got some pretty good defense in the orthodox and in the southpaw stance, which is very rare, beautiful people. Now you can tell that the man, you know, when he goes for the finish, when he wants to throw and unleash his power shots, he's more comfortable in the southpaw stance. But make no mistake, you know, two things. One thing that he does that might get him in trouble in both stances is that he pulls out of the danger range with his chin up in the air, and that might cost him. So if he wants to win this fight, he gotta correct this mistake. Whether he's in the orthodox or southpaw stance, he gotta exit the danger range with his chin tucked or with his hands up. Another thing, beautiful people, the man is an unbelievable kicker. You know, he throws that steep kick as like a kind of like a jab, you know, to measure the distance and to also get your attention. And you know, when you talk about Ciryl Gane's kicking game, the man varies it. He kicks to the legs, stabs you with the tip to the body, and also switches it up and goes up top to the head, to the chin. And you know, a lot of times after he switches stances, you might think that he's going to throw the tip, but no. He also switches things up and throws a spinning wheel kick, just like he did versus Ngannou. And Ngannou, the reason why he never saw it coming is because Ciryl Gane disguised it exceptionally well, purely with his footwork. Now, these are some of the things that he does exceptionally well with his feet. But, you know, I'm going to be honest, the man is so dangerous also with his hands, southpaw or orthodox. No matter what stance he chooses, he's dangerous. He's absolutely dangerous. And excuse the noises upstairs and downstairs, beautiful people. We got some renovations going on, but getting back into it. Another thing that the man does exceptionally well, you know, his jab actually. Whenever you see a switch hitter, more than likely, they have a good jab in one stance, but not Ciryl Gane. Ciryl Gane got a great jab in the orthodox stance and in the southpaw stance. And you know, with me saying all these things, and another thing that he does exceptionally well, the head movement. He moves his head, slips left, right, and comes back with the uppercut. The man does that combination sequence exceptionally well. Now, after I said all these things and after I mentioned, you know, all of his exceptional attributes, how can the man win this fight? How can the man utilize these things, utilize these weapons to come out victorious and come out the new heavyweight champion of the world? Because even though Tom is a massive favorite, 4-1 favorite, and even though I'm picking Tom to win, but make no mistake, Ciryl Gane can definitely win this fight. How can the man win it though? I'll tell you, beautiful people, you know, first thing he needs to do, weather the early storm. In the first round, Tom Aspinall, you know, listen, the man isn't just the best heavyweight on the planet, he is the fastest heavyweight on the planet. And speed kills. Speed kills, beautiful people, in combat sports. But when you talk about the heavyweight division, they can all punch. But most of them, if not all of them, except Tom Aspinall, got lightning speed when you talk about the kicks, the punches, the feints. No one is like Tom Aspinall, and that is why he is simply the best heavyweight on the planet. But how do you stifle his speed? How do you slow the man down? How can you discombobulate him? I'll tell you, beautiful people. First thing Ciryl Gane needs to do is to circle towards Tom Aspinall's left. And if he wants to circle towards Tom Aspinall's right, which will be circling towards his power hand, he gotta do it in an intelligent way. The same way that Andre Ward used to do it in boxing, you know. Andre Ward used to circle to your weak hand, but whenever he used to circle to your power hand, he does it exceptionally well. Why? Is because the man understands his distance. So when you talk about close range to mid range, basically the danger range, Ciryl Gane gotta be moving to Tom Aspinall's left, whether he's in the orthodox or southpaw stance. But when he's on the outside, feinting Tom, he can afford to move towards Tom's power hand and power side, which is Tom's right side. That being said, not just that, you know, another thing that Ciryl Gane definitely can do to slow Tom down is that teep kick. You know, you see many people fighting Tom Aspinall, but rarely, if any, utilize their kicks. And with Tom Aspinall being so light on his feet, that calf kick will definitely slow him down. That stab and teep to the body, that Ciryl Gane, nobody throws that teep like Ciryl Gane. That's another weapon that can slow down Tom Aspinall. And not just that. You know, when you fight someone so explosive and so sharp and so powerful and devastating like Tom Aspinall, you can't keep switching stances because he will catch you in between switching. So Ciryl Gane, I believe he will fight this fight, you know, for the most part in the southpaw stance. Because, you know, Ciryl Gane, like I said, he got great combinations when he's in the orthodox or in the southpaw stance. But, you know, in the southpaw stance, he demands more respect. And especially lately, he seems to be more comfortable in the southpaw stance. You know, but, you know, someone like Tom Aspinall, with his power hand being his right hand and backhand, a southpaw can definitely take that away by switching to the southpaw stance and moving to your right and to his left, which will cancel out his power hand and open up yours. So that is another thing that Ciryl Gane needs to do. And what makes a great fighter? Anticipation, beautiful people. And you know, with Tom Aspinall being so fast, I'm not sure that Ciryl Gane can stop Tom's takedowns if Tom chooses to blast the double leg. But he can anticipate it by setting up traps and setting up threats so that Tom Aspinall wouldn't just explode into Ciryl Gane's legs and take him down. And how can he do that? Switching that teep kick into a knee up the middle. That's another thing that Ciryl Gane does exceptionally well. He goes to the body with the knees. I mean, let's not forget, he was a former professional Muay Thai fighter, beautiful people. So we know he got knees. We know his knee is devastating. And he showed it versus Taito Ivasa also. Not just the teeps, but also the knees. So these small details and small adjustments, if Ciryl Gane can put these things together, he can definitely win this fight. But can he actually do these things versus someone so explosive and fast like Tom? Now let me tell you, beautiful people, one thing about Ciryl Gane that's extremely underrated. His chin. You know, I don't think that Tom Aspinall ever fought someone with the chin of Ciryl Gane. You know, Ciryl Gane, when have we ever seen the man hurt, dropped, wobbled like bad? We've only seen the man dropped once. Out of all the excellent punchers he fought, he's only been dropped once. Versus Taito Ivasa, it was a flash knockdown because he did that same mistake, beautiful people. Pulling out of the danger range with his chin up in the air. Got clocked, got dropped momentarily, got up and knocked out Taito Ivasa after. So even that knockdown that he suffered versus Taito Ivasa, he wasn't really badly hurt if you actually look into it. And he did get staggered momentarily by that spinning back fist from Volkov. But other than that, out of all the years, I mean, Ciryl Gane's been in the UFC now for a long time now. I believe over 5 years. So out of all the years that Ciryl Gane has been in the UFC, for him to being only dropped once and momentarily staggered also once, that speaks volumes about his chin. And let's not forget, he spent 25 minutes in the cage versus Francis Ngannou, the heaviest puncher of all time probably. Never hurt, never dropped, and he did absorb some pretty good shots from Francis. But the reason why Francis wasn't able to unload with his power and land flush on Ciryl is because of Gane's footwork. People tend to underestimate Ciryl Gane's fighting style. The man quit versus John Jones. The man gave up. He folded under the pressure. He made, not the smartest decisions versus Francis Ngannou. But if you actually think about it, beautiful people, the man's fighting style, his footwork, most importantly, is one of the main reasons why Francis Ngannou was never able to catch him. And Francis Ngannou literally knocked out everyone except Ciryl Gane in the UFC. So that also speaks volumes about Gane's IQ, even though he did make an error later on in that fight in the 5th round, but he was tired. Your IQ drops when you are gasping for air, and when definitely the 265-pounder, an absolute monster in Francis Ngannou, is on top of you. Can you really blame the man? But we can speculate on what can Ciryl do, what can Tom do, but they gotta step into the cage for us to find out. We think we know what's gonna happen, but in all actuality, we don't really know what's gonna happen, especially when you talk about the big boys. Bring on Saturday night.